I unlocked my apartment door, tossed my keys onto the counter, and collapsed onto the couch after another 14-hour day at my startup. My phone buzzed with a new voicemail notification. I pressed play, and my father's voice filled the room. "You are nothing, just a worthless loser. Expect my lawyer." His words hung in the air like poison. Growing up in the shadow of wealthy parents who used money as a weapon had hardened me. I glanced at the mortgage document on my desk and felt a strange calm wash over me. Before I continue, where are you watching from today? Drop your location in the comments, hit that like and subscribe button, and stick around to see how I turned my father's cruel ultimatum into the wake-up call he never expected. The relationship with my father had always been complicated. Richard Thompson built his real estate empire from scratch, turning a small agency into a multi-million-dollar business spanning 3 counties. He wore his success like armor, using it to command respect and obedience from everyone around him, especially his family. My mother, Linda, played her part perfectly, the supportive wife who never questioned his decisions. She maintained their sprawling mansion with meticulous care, hosted business dinners that impressed his associates, and remained silent whenever he unleashed his temper. Her survival strategy was clear: never rock the boat. My sister Jessica embraced the family legacy enthusiastically. 5 years older than me, she followed his footsteps into real estate, adopting not just his business acumen but his worldview. Designer clothes, luxury cars, vacation homes, these were the metrics of success in our household. Dinner conversations revolved around property values, market trends, and the neighbors' financial missteps. "Sean, pay attention," my father would snap whenever my mind wandered during these discussions. "This is your future we are talking about." But it never felt like my future. It felt like his vision being forced upon me. From elementary school onward, my path had been predetermined. My father scrutinized every report card not to celebrate achievements, but to identify weaknesses. A 98% on a math test prompted questions about the missing 2 points rather than recognition of success. He enrolled me in business camps instead of the computer programs I begged to attend. When college application season arrived, he laid brochures from his alma mater on my desk. "Business administration," he announced. "Best program in the state. Board members owe me favors. Your acceptance is guaranteed." I wanted to study computer science at MIT or Stanford. The argument lasted 3 weeks, ending with his ultimatum: follow his plan or pay my own way. With no savings of my own, he had controlled my summer job earnings through a college fund I had no access to. I reluctantly enrolled in his chosen program. During those 4 years, I took programming classes in secret, staying late in computer labs and befriending teaching assistants who helped me learn outside the business curriculum. I created small apps, built websites, and discovered a passion that felt truly mine. After graduation, I dutifully took my place at Thompson Real Estate. My office sat directly across from his, a strategic placement that allowed him to monitor my activities. For 2 years, I learned the business, made connections, and secretly developed my own software idea, a platform that would revolutionize how rental properties were managed. When I finally gathered the courage to leave, the confrontation shook the entire office. "You want to throw away everything I built for you over some computer fantasy?" he shouted, face reddening. "I built nothing here," I replied. "I managed what you assigned me. This company has your name, not mine." "And it never will now," he sneered. "Good luck surviving without the Thompson connections." My tech startup Property Stream began in a tiny rented office space with 2 college friends as co-founders. We survived on minimal salaries, instant noodles, and determination. The first year brought endless coding sessions, rejected investor pitches, and countless revisions to our business model. My father made sure local real estate agents knew I had left the family business under a cloud, making partnerships in our hometown nearly impossible. What my father never anticipated was that my name remained on an important document, the family home mortgage. When I turned 25, he had added me as a co-signer during a refinancing process. He explained it as smart estate planning, a way to reduce potential inheritance taxes while maintaining control of the property. The truth was more calculating. He needed my excellent credit score to secure the lowest interest rate on their $500,000 mortgage after a series of risky business expansions had impacted his own credit. I discovered this leverage 2 months ago while organizing my financial documents for a potential investor meeting. The mortgage agreement clearly listed me as jointly responsible for the debt and jointly empowered in decisions regarding it. Last Sunday, our paths collided at the annual Thompson family dinner. My mother had insisted I attend despite the growing tension. Family is family, she repeated on the phone, her voice tight with anxiety about maintaining appearances. I arrived with news I was genuinely excited to share. Property Stream had secured a meeting with venture capital firm Westlake Partners, known for launching tech startups into multi-million-dollar companies. As the main course was served, I mentioned the upcoming meeting. Before I could elaborate, my father interrupted. Playing with your little computer program while real businesses are being built, he scoffed, cutting into his steak. Thompson Real Estate just acquired the Lakeside Commercial Center, $30 million in new assets. But please tell us more about your cute little app meeting. The table fell silent. My mother stared at her plate. Jessica studied her wine glass, avoiding eye contact. Congratulations on the acquisition, I said evenly, placing my napkin beside my half-eaten meal. My meeting is at 9 tomorrow morning. I should get some rest. As I stood to leave, my father's voice followed me, running away as usual. Let us know when you are ready to rejoin the real-world sun. The week that followed the disastrous family dinner was a study in escalation. My father began with text messages demanding I come to my senses about my career choices. When those went unanswered, he switched to voicemails, each more controlling than the last. This phase has gone on long enough, he declared in one message. Thompson Real Estate needs a digital marketing director. The position is yours if you abandon this fantasy startup. My mother deployed her own tactics, calling with tearful pleas about family unity. Your father means well, she insisted. He just wants security for you. Is that so wrong? Her inability to recognize the manipulation behind his concern had frustrated me throughout childhood, but now it simply reinforced my resolve to break free from family patterns. Jessica took a colder approach, sending a single text, Dad built everything we have. The least you could do is show some respect instead of chasing pipe dreams that embarrass the family name. I maintained professional distance, responding only to direct questions with brief, neutral answers. My focus remained on preparing for the Westlake Partners meeting, refining our presentation until late each night. The day before the infamous voicemail, my father escalated dramatically. I was walking a potential client through our platform demo when our office receptionist knocked tentatively. Sean, your father is here. He says it is urgent. Richard Thompson stood in our modest lobby, looking wildly out of place in his tailored suit. His presence dominated the small space, making our startup environment seem even more fragile in comparison. We need to talk. Now. His voice carried across the office, causing heads to turn. I am with a client, I replied calmly. I can call you when I am finished. This cannot wait. Family matters take precedence over whatever this is. He gestured dismissively at our workspace. I excused myself from the client and led my father to a small conference room. You have 5 minutes. This has gone on long enough. He began, not bothering to sit. Your mother is worried sick. The family business needs attention from the next generation. Jessica cannot handle everything alone. I have my own business now. We just might get major funding tomorrow. Playing with computers is not a business, Sean. It is a hobby that has gotten out of hand. I have allowed this rebellion long enough. Allowed the word hung between us. I am 30 years old. I do not need your permission. His face darkened. While you live under the Thompson name and benefit from our connections, you absolutely do. Family loyalty comes before personal indulgence. This meeting is over, I said, standing. Please leave. You do not dismiss me, he growled, stepping closer. Not in this joke of an office or anywhere else. Security, I called, opening the door. Our building security guard appeared immediately, a fortunate timing as he had been delivering mail nearby. Please escort my father out. He was just leaving. The look of shock on my father's face, as he was politely but firmly guided toward the exit, will stay with me forever. So will the whispers of my colleagues who witnessed the entire scene. That night, I turned off my phone and focused entirely on preparing for the investor meeting. The next morning brought success beyond our expectations. Westlake Partners expressed serious interest in providing $2 million in funding pending due diligence. My team celebrated with cheap champagne and paper cups while I finally checked my messages. The voicemail from my father stopped the celebration cold. You have crossed the line with that public humiliation. Security guards, in front of your entire little computer club, listen carefully because I am only saying this once. You are nothing, just a worthless loser playing businessman. You have been removed from the family trust effective immediately. Your trust fund access is terminated. Your position at Thompson Real Estate is permanently filled. Do not contact your mother or sister. They support this decision completely. Expect my lawyer to contact you about formally removing you from all family legal documents. You are no longer a Thompson in anything but name, and I regret even giving you that. My colleagues noticed my expression and quietly left the room. Alone in our small office, I felt the familiar sting of his words, a pain conditioned since childhood to make me seek his approval. For a moment, the joy of our business success dimmed beneath the weight of his rejection. That night became a sleepless journey through memories, the time he tore up my computer science camp application in front of me, the high school graduation where he praised Jessica for 30 minutes and acknowledged me with only at least he got into college, the Christmas he gave me a realtor license study guide while Jessica received keys to a new Mercedes. By morning, something had shifted inside me. I opened my files and found the mortgage documents. One simple fact became clear while he could remove me from the family. Emotionally, legally, my name remained on their $500,000 mortgage, the loan that financed not just their primary residence but secured the capital for his latest business expansion. I made an appointment with the bank for that afternoon. The mortgage officer reviewed my request carefully. You want to remove yourself as co-signer on this joint mortgage, she confirmed, looking over her glasses. Yes. I no longer wish to be financially responsible for this property. You understand, this will trigger a review of the loan terms as the original approval was based partially on your credit score and income verification. I understand completely. She nodded, typing notes. Since you are requesting removal rather than attempting to claim equity, the process is straightforward. The remaining borrowers will receive notification of your withdrawal and will need to qualify independently for the existing loan terms or seek refinancing. How long will this process take? I asked. Your removal from liability is immediate upon signing these forms. The bank will notify the primary borrower within 1 business day. They will have 30 days to either qualify independently or refinance. I signed the papers with a steady hand. The weight that lifted from my shoulders was not just the financial liability of a $500,000 mortgage. It was 30 years of trying to earn the approval of a man who saw me as nothing more than an extension of himself. The bank wasted no time. By 9:00 a.m. the next day, an official letter would have arrived at the Thompson residence, explaining that Sean Thompson had removed himself as co-signer on mortgage loan #786542 effective immediately. The letter would detail the next steps required. Richard and Linda Thompson needed to either qualify for the mortgage independently or seek new financing within 30 days. Given my father's recent credit challenges due to overextended business investments, I knew they would struggle to qualify without my excellent credit score backing the loan. By noon, my phone exploded with notifications. 27 missed calls from my father, 15 from my mother, 12 from Jessica. 33 text messages ranging from rage to panic to desperate pleas. 5 voicemails each, displaying the evolution of my father's reaction. The first voicemail vibrated with rage. What the hell do you think you are doing? Call me immediately. The second, recorded an hour later, maintained the anger, but introduced a new note of disbelief. Do you have any idea what you have done? This affects the entire family business, not just the house. Call me now. By the third message, concern had begun creeping in. Sean, this is serious. We need to discuss this like adults. Whatever point you are trying to make, there are better ways. The fourth revealed the first cracks in his composure. Son, please call back. We can work this out. There must be some misunderstanding. The fifth voicemail, left at 4:30 p.m., contained something I had never heard from my father before. Fear. Sean, please. We need to talk. The bank is saying. Just call me back. Please. My mother's messages carried tearful confusion. Sean, darling, what is happening? Your father is beside himself. The bank sent some letter about the house. Please call home. Jessica's texts evolved from accusatory. How could you do this to the family to pragmatic? Whatever Dad did, this affects Mom too, to finally desperate. Please just call. We can fix this. The most interesting communications came from a number I did not recognize, but quickly identified as Thomas Wilson, the Thompson family attorney. His initial message maintained professional distance. Mr. Thompson. This is Thomas Wilson, representing Richard Thompson. Please contact our office regarding the mortgage matter at your earliest convenience. 2 hours later, his tone shifted significantly. Sean Tom Wilson here. We have known each other since you were a boy. I understand family disagreements can get heated, but this mortgage situation could have serious consequences for everyone involved. Please call me directly. By late afternoon, all pretense of legal formality had vanished. Sean, it is Tom again. I am calling from your parents' house. The situation here is critical. Your father cannot qualify for the current mortgage terms without your co-signature. The bank is talking about accelerated repayment. Please, as someone who has watched you grow up, I am asking you to reconsider this action. For 24 hours, I maintained complete silence. I turned off my phone, focused on work, and experienced an unfamiliar sense of calm. That evening, I sent a single text to my father. I am just a worthless loser. Remember, talk to your lawyer. Then I disconnected again, sleeping peacefully for the first time in years. The next day brought a pounding on my apartment door around 6:00 p.m. Through the peephole I saw my father, but not the commanding figure who had terrorized my childhood. This man looked disheveled. His typically perfect appearance now rumpled his face, haggard with stress and lack of sleep. I opened the door but remained in the doorway, blocking entry. Sean, he began, voice hoarse. We need to talk. Do we? Please. 5 minutes. I stepped aside, allowing him into my modest one-bedroom apartment. He looked around, taking in the simple furnishings and the desk covered with programming books and sticky notes, the workspace of a dedicated entrepreneur rather than the failure he had described in his voicemail. The bank called again, he said, without preamble. Without your name on the mortgage, we cannot maintain the current terms. That sounds like a problem for you and your lawyer. Sean, you do not understand. The house secured the loan for the lakeside acquisition. If we lose the mortgage terms, the entire deal collapses. We are talking about millions in potential losses. I understand perfectly, I replied. You overextended, used my credit to secure financing you could not qualify for a loan, and never considered I might one day step away from the arrangement. His facade cracked entirely. I will give you anything. Money, a position at the company, whatever you want. Just put your name back on the mortgage. And if I refuse, the company could go under. 30 years of work destroyed. Your mother's security gone. Is that what you want? I studied the man who had called me worthless just days ago now, literally begging for my signature. Now you know what it feels like, I said quietly. To be told you are nothing, to have someone else control your future with the stroke of a pen. His eyes widened with the first real understanding I had ever seen in them. The negotiation that followed was unlike any interaction I had ever had with my father. For the first time in my life, we sat as equals, perhaps even with the balance of power tipped in my direction. I will reinstate my name on the mortgage, I stated, under specific non-negotiable conditions. My father nodded, the fight gone from his posture. Name them. First, complete financial independence. You will transfer my trust fund to my sole control, without restrictions or monitoring. The exact amount originally designated regardless of your current opinion of my choices. He swallowed hard but nodded. Second, a written agreement that you, Mom Jessica, or any Thompson family business will never attempt to interfere with property stream or any other venture I pursue. No calling my clients. No undermining me with local business contacts. No casual mentions about my supposed experience. Another nod, tighter this time. Third, you will publicly acknowledge your behavior at the next family gathering, not a vague apology. Specific recognition of the controlling tactics and emotional manipulation. His face flushed, but desperation kept him listening. Finally, the entire family agrees to 6 months of family therapy with a counselor of my choosing. not to repair what cannot be fixed, but to establish healthier boundaries going forward. Therapy, he questioned, the old resistance flickering. Non-negotiable, I repeated. Take it or discuss accelerated repayment terms with the bank tomorrow morning. Within hours, documents were drawn up. By midnight, my name was back on the mortgage, and for the first time in my adult life, I had financial autonomy and clear boundaries with my family. The impact was immediate and far-reaching. My father moved through the next family dinner with uncharacteristic restraint, introducing me to his business associates, not as his son who had temporarily pursued other interests, but as Sean, the founder of Property Stream. My mother approached me privately that evening, her eyes showing both confusion and dawning awareness. I never realized how he spoke to you, she admitted quietly. I always thought it was just his way of pushing you towards success. It was control, Mom. Not guidance. She nodded slowly. The therapist has helped me see the difference. I have enabled a lot of behaviors I should have questioned. Even Jessica's attitude underwent a transformation. The initial cold anger at my betrayal of the family gradually gave way to reluctant respect. During our third therapy session, she admitted something unexpected. I was jealous, she confessed. You had the courage to leave. I built my entire identity around being the perfect Thompson daughter. I do not even know who I am outside of that. The extended family, aunts, uncles, cousins who had witnessed my father's dismissive treatment of me for years, began reaching out independently. My cousin Brian invited me to his son's baseball game. Aunt Patricia asked about Property Stream with genuine interest. The family narrative had shifted. Processing my own complicated emotions proved the most challenging aspect of the aftermath. Guilt surfaced unexpectedly had I gone too far. Used the same manipulative tactics I resented in my father. Late-night doubts plagued me until our therapist helped me recognize the difference between retaliation and setting healthy boundaries. You did not destroy his business or reputation, she pointed out. You simply removed your support from a situation that was harmful to you, then established clear terms for re-engagement. Setting boundaries extended beyond my family. I began recognizing patterns in other relationships, where I allowed people to diminish my worth or extract value without reciprocation. My growing backbone cost me some superficial connections, but attracted genuine friendships built on mutual respect. 6 months after the mortgage showdown, Property Stream secured not just the initial funding from Westlake Partners, but a second round that valued our company at $12 million. We expanded to 15 employees, moved to real offices, and landed contracts with 3 major property management companies. My former colleagues from Thompson Real Estate began reaching out. James, the marketing director, who had always been kind to me, called to discuss potential collaboration between our companies. Without my father's interference, natural business relationships began forming, based on mutual benefit rather than family obligation. The most profound change occurred within the family dynamic itself. Our Sunday dinners, once performance theaters for my father's success stories, evolved into more balanced interactions. Richard Thompson remained ambitious and driven, but the cruel edge had softened. When I shared news about Property Stream's latest investor meeting, he asked questions about the technology rather than dismissing it. My mother found her voice in small but significant ways, occasionally contradicting him or changing subjects when conversations became too focused on money or status. Jessica and I established a cautious friendship, independent of our parents meeting for coffee, to discuss her growing interest in sustainable real estate development. The lessons from this chapter of my life run deeper than family dynamics. I learned that true worth cannot be assigned by another person's evaluation, not even a parent's. Financial leverage creates power imbalances that poison relationships, while financial independence enables emotional freedom to set healthy boundaries. Most importantly, I discovered that sometimes the most powerful response is not an emotional outburst, but a quiet, calculated action that forces recognition of one's true value. Standing up for yourself does not always bring immediate validation, but it commands a respect that could never be gained through compliance. The path forward with my family remains complicated. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or allowing harmful patterns to reemerge. It means creating a new relationship framework where past hurts are acknowledged, present boundaries are respected, and future interactions are approached with caution, but openness. As I lock up my office tonight, heading home to my new apartment in a building, my company's software helps manage. I reflect on the journey. The worthless loser my father described in that voicemail has built something valuable entirely on his own merit. The power dynamic he cultivated over decades shifted in 24 hours when I finally recognized my own worth. Have you ever had to stand up to family members who underestimated you? What boundaries have you set with toxic relatives? Share your experiences in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences, and share this video with someone who might need to hear that their worth is not determined by family expectations. Thank you for listening, and remember, sometimes the quietest actions create the loudest wake-up calls.